Remind yourself, their behavior is not a reflection of your worth. Be neutral, boring, and unreactive to avoid feeding their need for drama. Set strong boundaries and stick to them. Please, they're going to come back and love bomb you and say charming things. Don't justify, don't explain. No is a complete sentence. Trust your nervous system if your body feels unsafe around someone. Listen to that. It's intelligence, not weakness. Do you feel like you're always walking on eggshells around someone? Maybe they blame you for things, twist your words, or make you feel like you are the problem, even when your gut says otherwise. If you've been stuck in a cycle of confusion, guilt, or emotional exhaustion around someone with narcissistic traits or full-blown narcissistic personality disorder, then this video is for you. Let's talk about what's really going on and how to protect your nervous system, your energy. Learn how to set boundaries and break free from the emotional grip and get them out of your heart once and for all. Hi, I'm Heather Hewett, naturopath, clinical nutritionist, and trauma-informed coach. I help people build emotional resilience and recover from relational trauma, especially those who are highly sensitive or neurodivergent. And in this episode, I'm going to share how to recognize narcissistic behavior, how it impacts your nervous system, and practical steps to navigate these relationships without losing yourself or losing your mind. Well, let's start off with what is full-blown narcissistic personality disorder? Well, let's start with authenticity and clarity. Narcissistic personality disorder is a clinical diagnosis. I know the topic du jour is narcissism right now. When I talk to people, I hear people saying, oh, they're a narcissist. They're a narcissist. Okay, not everybody walking the planet is a narcissist. Not everybody that we bump up against is a narcissist or rubs us the wrong way. There is a DSM for this, and there is a clinical diagnosis. And we can't diagnose people, so we may be able to spot the traits. Now, someone with narcissistic traits is something different too. Someone can raise someone who is full-blown narcissistic. They have the personality disorder. Then they raise children. And of course, the children may have some of these traits. And this helps us take a look at ourselves as well as people we've dealt with in our lives. And I want you to be able to take your mental health back. Many people can display narcissistic traits without having a full diagnosis. There are some common traits that include lack of empathy. And I want to talk about this for a minute. Okay, a lot of us don't really know what empathy is, including myself, until recently. I thought someone who had a lack of empathy would basically almost be like someone who is a serial killer or just blatant non-empathy, right? But that's not the case. Sometimes people can learn what empathy looks like, and then they can mirror that. They can display that to manipulate you, to charm you, and to get you to do what they want you to do, to control you. But true empathy, true godlike empathy, is when someone not only feels your pain, but they're moved with compassion to do something about it. And not when it involves them, because this is what made me fall every time with narcissistic bosses is it appeared like they wanted to help me. So they would do things to help me on the outside, but actually it was helping them. So we're talking compassionate empathy where they are moved to help you. And there's no self-interest or personal interest involved. Then there is an inflated sense of self. So covert narcissism, vulnerable narcissism, they seem like they have low self-esteem or self-deprecating or whatever, but it comes out in different ways that they have an inflated sense of self-importance. Then there's gaslighting and manipulation, constant need for attention and control, difficulty taking accountability. They are never accountable for what they do. It's always you. You're at fault. You didn't do something for them. You failed somehow. Using charm as a weapon. They may seem confident or charismatic on the outside and everybody loves them. But underneath, there's often this deep insecurity, need to control, and a fragile ego. And the problem isn't their confidence. That's not what we're talking about today. What I'm concerned with helping you and conveying is, how does this impact your emotional safety? How can you keep yourself safe? Well, I'm going to break down how narcissistic traits affect you. If you've spent time around someone with narcissistic traits, a friend, a parent, a boss, someone you might feel confused, especially if they're that vulnerable narcissist or covert narcissist who seems to have empathy and they're so charming and they want to help you. It can be very confusing and you're always second guessing yourself. Then you feel guilty for setting boundaries of what's important to you. You feel drained emotionally and mentally, even physically, from their long list of things that they want from you. You feel disconnected from your intuition, like you're never enough, no matter what you do. This is not just emotional. This is nervous system dysregulation. Your body is constantly scanning for threats, trying to stay one step ahead of their reactions. And if you're highly sensitive or grew up in a chaotic or emotionally unavailable environment, you may have been conditioned to ignore your own needs to keep the peace. This is why you doubt yourself. If this sounds familiar to you, please drop something in the comments. This feels familiar. Now, common manipulation tactics to watch for. Here are some common red flags. Love bombing, especially in the beginning. And when you distance yourself, they're going to come back love bombing you. Over the top affection, gaslighting, denying your reality or twisting the truth, projection, blaming you for their own behavior, silent treatment. Guys, the silent treatment is emotional abuse. Withholding communication as a punishment is abuse. Triangulation, pitting you against others to gain control. Recognizing the pattern is always step one. Well, what's the next step? We can choose how to respond. How do we navigate these relationships? You may not be able to change them, and we're not trying to, but you can change how you engage and where you set this person in your life and in your heart. Here's how. Detach with clarity. Remind yourself their behavior is not a reflection of your worth. Be neutral, boring, and unreactive to avoid feeding their need for drama. Set strong boundaries and stick to them. Please, they're going to come back and love bomb you and say charming things. Don't justify, don't explain. No is a complete sentence. Trust your nervous system if your body feels unsafe around someone. Listen to that. It's intelligence, not weakness. Limit or cut your contact if needed, especially if the relationship is abusive or harming your well being. You're not being mean, you're protecting your peace. And some final thoughts, being in a relationship with someone with narcissistic traits can leave you feeling like you've lost yourself, even after you've cut ties or quit your job or whatever it is that you need to do. It's going to take some time to rebuild. Have some compassion. And here's the truth, you're still in there. You're allowed to protect your energy. You are allowed to choose peace over performance. And healing is absolutely possible. Please let me know in the comments what part of this felt most validating or helpful. And if this video supported you, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Protecting your peace, your nervous system, your heart is an act of self-respect, and you deserve that. Embrace the change and discover the beauty of transformation, and embrace your inner butterfly.